Hello and welcome back. Today is all about the sound making frame. Well, her abilities make sounds, but she actually doesn't. This is Banshee, and along with her deluxe skin, she actually does look a bit more sultry, so she's aptly named Screamer in my loadout slot. Now, I typically use a sonar with augment build when I use her because, to be honest, it is just absolutely damaging. Honestly, I can't actually explain it. It is just absolutely wow for me. It also adds another different element of gameplay because you tend to have to be a little bit more careful about what you do. You can't just go charging straight into battle. You've got to play with a little bit of tactics. You've got to actually think about it. And a lot of the time when I use this build, I'll activate sonar, hide behind a door, have a quick look at my map because it does highlight enemies as well. Tells you where they are, which is very useful. If you press M and open up your larger map, you can actually see in greater detail as to where they are, which is very useful. The build I've actually got here does utilise all of her abilities. Her one ability grants a massive knockback, which is great when you're in a bit of a pinch. Obviously you've got sonar, which is the main thing. I tend to stack it quite a bit because honestly I'm not the greatest shot and I'm using sonar, so I just like to sort of just cover them in the purple splodges and spray and pray. Silence as well to help me move around a little bit more. It's quite useful. The least used ability in this build is Soundquake, though I do still use it from time to time. It is helpful, along with just, you know, occasionally when I decide to take a sip of coffee, I'll just press 4, let everything take a little bit of a rumble from the Soundquake, and, you know, just sit there and slurp a bit of coffee, maybe have a biscuit, depends how I'm feeling, and then I'll go back to actually playing. But honestly, she is a great frame, and the fact that there's no actual mass farming required, she is just completely available in the dojo, is just even better. It's a frame that I'd like to see more people using. It's definitely a very underrated frame. I think the main problem people have with her, which is a similar problem I have, is to actually get a relatively usable build on her, you kind of leave her very squishy. I mean, as you can see, I've got 300 shield and 300 health, and she has minimal armour. So you can die very easily, which is another reason I'm hoping in DE put in the augment slot, so I can actually put the augment slot somewhere I would like it, and replace it then with vitality. Probably cost another former, but oh well. Anyway, the build I'm using on her is Energy Siphon, Power Drift, Blind Rage, Prime Continuity, Constitution Streamline, Resonance, Stretch. We don't really need much more than Stretch. Resonance will take care of the rest. Prime Flow and Intensify. Now, the main reason of this build is sonar, and sonar will last 54 seconds and has a range of 50 meters, and it has a 12.2 critical multiplier, which is another reason I'm also using a critical weapon. You can use Synapse, Amphrex, whatever you actually desire. Now, what I'm actually going up against here is a level 145 Corrupted Heavy Gunner, and I'm just going to sort of demonstrate the actual damage. I mean, I don't know about you, but I thought that was pretty darn quick. So, just to give a comparison and to actually show I'm not cheating, there it is, level 145 Corrupted Heavy Gunner. I'm going to go for it again. I'm going to use the same tactic but without the sonar. As soon as this thing gets a shot off, I am dead. But already you can see this thing is refusing to die. It's taking an absolute pounding. It's, well, you can clearly see the difference in using sonar for this build. Another pro for this is it makes her quite effective in melee, to be honest. I mean, that was only a butcher, because I don't think you want to get that close to a heavy gunner, but, and also, like I said, Dread, could use that, again, a butcher. shot. Oh. Two shots. She is very effective. Now the next one, I promise you this is not sped up. This is a Soundquake build. Just completed one wave. Like I said, I promise you this is not sped up in any way. This is the effectiveness of Soundquake. Another wave complete. This is a card, so it's not the easiest mission. Oh, depends who you ask, but it's an okay-ish mission. So, but another wave complete. That is the effectiveness of a Soundquake build, and why people do not use it is beyond me. What I'm using here is Energy Siphon, Endurance Drift, Transient Fortitude, Prime Continuity, Fleeting Expertise, Overextended, Resonating Quake, Streamline, Prime Flow, and Intensify. Now, the idea behind this is mainly range. I've got a range of 35 meters, 3 energy per second. It does 250 damage per second. Resonating Quake will buff that, as well as your energy consumption. So it all depends on how you want to use it. Now you can remove Intensify if you want to go for a larger range and put Cunning Drift on. I wouldn't say go max range because it defeats the object. That takes you to 41 range. If you want to go max range, don't use Resonating Quake. To be perfectly honest, you will, although it can be effective, but the reasons for doing that are none, really. You could also use Speed Drift to help the casting speed, as well as just general movement, which is helpful as well. And what I'm doing here is displaying one of the reasons why I think Banshee is one of the best crowd control frames, particularly against infested. Disruptors, as we know, take 10%, whether it be from ability usage, whether it be efficiency or damage. So what you'll be seeing here is Vauban with Bastille. Mine lasts 34 seconds, 3 seconds later, you're dead. Banshee, she's still going. Those disruptors at the back there with the heavy gunners are not moving. The reason for this is the damage, the blast and knockback effect of Soundquake refreshes every second, so they still do not have a chance to move. Vauban, well, he can keep throwing Bastilles and Vortexes if he likes, he's still going to end up dead against the disruptors. The one thing Banshee does have to look out for is the mutinous ospreys. Although they take the damage, they still fly around and they still can shoot. Anyway, that's me. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.